All right, so last is my favorite pair, GJ. As you guys all know, this is my favorite pair. Now, currently, I am in some longs. Let's just talk about it. So I have my analysis overall, and it's kind of playing out thus far. Let's actually see how I got to where I am now with my analysis. You can see I took some buys down here and I took some buys down here. So I'm pretty much a sniper when it comes to GJ. But at the same time, I am always aware just based on the fluctuations of time frame where I am within structure, which kind of just makes me a key trader. GJ is one of the best pairs that I'm more advanced at, but I know delay. Let's jump into it. So I'm gonna kind of delete everything that I got. You guys can see I have a lot of data here that I kind of been using to kind of scribble and scrabble. So let's just delete everything. It's not 100% necessary, but at the same time, I kind of want to make sure everybody that's new to this understands like where we are and why we are there. So the very first thing I want to kind of pay you got to pay attention to is this price. Ever since we left right here, we've been in a very strong bullish uptrend, right? Now, one thing I want to say for certain is we have to make sure this area that I decided to start at is an area of importance as far as for market structure goes and supply and demand and everything of the such. So the very first thing I want to do is I kind of want to draw out the data. Now, we did most recently break out of a area where we had like a bit of a zone. We kind of used area for a retest to continue price going up to the upside, which is good. It doesn't really have too much relevance as of right now, but it is good. Now, the next area I'm seeing is probably above this wick, but I feel like as long as we stay above this zone, ideally we're good, right? Going down to the weekly, um, not really much when it comes to data. You can see the huge uptrend motion that kind of happened here. But more importantly, I'm going to start based around here. If you watch my previous Sunday breakdowns, you'll be able to see the analysis that I used over here and how I know to kind of start from this price point that I am right now, right? So boom, we draw our fibs and instantly we can see that we have 61.8 is respected. To me, 61.8 is a market structure level. So because of that, I want to make sure that I eclipse it and that I know where I am within structure. You can see that at this price point as well that we made it engulfing, followed by a retest that happened right around here. So we could see that this is a very good area of interest. Also on this time frame, we have a bit of a zone right here that I'm going to make within yellow. This is a higher time frame, analyzing time frame, just to see where I am within price. So making sure that my supply and my demand zones are going to be kind of key on this time frame, right? Now here's the craziest part. Looking at the data, we could see that we made some type of support over here, and we could see that basically price was in a range. And within this range, based on how I just read price and how I read data, price was striving to make lower highs and lower lows. Even though overall we're in an uptrend, price wasn't respecting uptrend values at this moment in time. It wasn't respecting uptrend values until price came down here and pushed above this area right around here. So right around this area where price kind of broke above a bit was when we really started making uptrend potential, right? Followed by the retest, and then from here we kind of went long. The reason why I'm going straight up to this wick from here was looking at the data, right? From here to here, all this in between is really 23.6. So I kind of know where I am within structure. And then most importantly, because I'm still on one of my analyzing time frames that I'm using to critique the overall structure in data, I can see that this supply and this demand zone kind of worked perfectly on the lower time frame to kind of push price up in the direction that it was meant to go. So me really looking at price, I can see that roughly right around here that the low points were respected based on this green zone. You can see that we had a lot of bullish activity, variations of bullish activity, and most importantly, when price left this area, it never came back to this zone. It respected this zone in between. So looking at price over here, what I like to do again is I like to eclipse it. 61.8 was respected, and then from here, I just like to look at price. To me, price really came from up here all the way down here, and then it strived to kind of go longer from here. So it's from that point where it strived to be greater is where we're going to kind of pick up. Now, ideally, looking at this time frame and just looking at the data, there's not really a much lot of data, but I can see here that based off of my drawings, that price did test 38.2. So I want to make sure that I come to a time frame where I'm actually seeing the data actually be respected overall, because I feel like that's going to be key for me, helping me identify a trend. So let me kind of turn on the data variables here. turn on the 1 hour, so that way as we go down, we can see the data. So you can see as of right here, price still tested 38.2, but you can see here where we have our previous market structure, lower high as of right here, that price is making a higher low here. So we can definitely see that, again, the area of indecision that we have based on price is getting better and better. So I'm just going to drop this here because what's going to end up happening is we're going to potentially make some type of support right here, which I'll make in black. Said black. Yep. You can see that price is where this lower high is really making a higher low there. So we're going to go down to the next time frame, and we can see roughly right on this time frame that price was able to strive and make our first higher low within the overall structure of trend. So because we made our first higher low right around here, now in this new structure of trend, we can really kind of use this price point from right here to kind of mitigate trend based off of the time frame. So the biggest thing that us traders should do as traders is we should really begin to use again these areas of interests, and I feel like these areas of interests are our higher lows and our higher highs to kind of see where we are within trend and see the potential. Because literally from right here where we made this swing low wick, we're striving to see where the next area of price is, and you can see again that based off of this zone that we got right here and price right here that we're maintaining, and we got another area right here. So just keep in mind that it was after this push that we got a higher high, one even higher than the one that we were ranging, which shows that we're in a valid structure of trend. So you know from here you can begin to break out your trend line, and you should be able to catch future occurrences as well based off of this price point. So just kind of picking up where I left off, keep in mind the main thing about GJ, what it's all about using price as support and resistance to make sure you understand where you are within price. GJ kind of does that a lot when it comes to retests in any shape or sense of value along with the lower time frame price. So we can see from right here, roughly what price did was price strived from right here all the way up here. It ranged a little bit, and then we kind of went higher. So we know where our next stop is as far as for structure, and we can kind of see, again, the technical side of it, that GJ is really playing out with support and resistance and market structure and fibs at the same time, which is all the same data points that I use when it is that I'm trading this pair. So looking at just this analysis alone, we could see how over here, how we had a zone and how this zone is used as an area of support over here. The most important thing to kind of take away from this overall area is that we tested 61.8 and got a third touch of our trend line. We know the third touch of our trend line is going to be the most aggressive, hence the momentum that we ended up getting later. But from right here, we can see that price kind of came. And again, to me, it's super important that you draw this, right? Price kind of came down, came back up, came down, and then from here, we went high. So now we're kind of seeing where we are within trend, and I feel like our goal is to go deeper. So as of right now, we know where we are within price. We can see it. I feel like we want to kind of go down deeper and see the story that price action is really telling us. We can see that throughout this, that again, this previous higher high zone resistance turned into support over here. But most importantly, we can see that from here, structure is still maintaining quite fine. So as we go down lower to roughly about the 5 hour, we could see that in this, that in this area of importance, that price did kind of retrace right around here and make some sense of a higher low. So again, we got to kind of keep in mind that when it comes to data, that even if we have a high point, that every higher low that it makes maintaining the trend overall until it breaks this area right here is going to be key. And that's just the main part that I kind of function, because all of these potentially are higher lows, maintaining the overall data just on a smaller time frame. So I feel like that's what's kind of happening right here, right now, especially with this analysis. So just kind of picking up, we pulled back here. Now the biggest thing is to make sure that this pullback is some sense of structure. We can see that we got something right here, and then from here to here, 38.2. And this is just how you kind of understand where you are within structure and kind of flowing with price, right? So boom, and then from here, we did a little bit of consolidation. Keep in mind that the higher high point that we needed to break really and truly wasn't until up here, right? So this was the area that we needed to break. But as we're kind of striving and pushing, we can see that 23.6 is respected, 38.2 was tested. it wasn't until we made this point right here that we got another 38.2. So again, guys, you got to just learn how to read through all the extra data that price is giving you and just make sure that you're kind of on point with your technicalities. So we got another 38.2 right here. Now, in this situation, we didn't respect this zone over here, but the zone that we really respected was the lower time frame data. So let me clone this and kind of highlight that area. It was really right here that we had to respect as some sort of support and resistance overall in this area. You can see that price, if I was supposed to fix this zone and put it right here, you can see that price was rejecting resistance, support, resistance, support. And you can see our price was really ranging in between these two areas until we kind of broke out, retested this 38.2 area, and then continued in the uptrend ambiance. So again, price is really going to kind of show you everything you know. You just got to make sure that when these details kind of appear that you're ready for them. And then from right here, we could backtrack a little bit to the 6 hour. We could see that even the 6 hour, it's not as detailed as far as for Fibonacci goes and respecting. So this is a move that you're really keeping track with the 5 hour. So just keep in mind that our 5 hour is our analyzing time frame and our analyzing perspective in this overall pursuit of the uptrend. And we can see from right here that again, it wasn't until we got over here that we respected 50%. And if you just keep track of, again, the structurized data within this overall area, that it was this zone that was respected as support and resistance for the uptrend move. So again, a lot of support and resistance that played a huge role in this overall data. And we can see really and truly from right here that even after price kind of came and hit 0%, that it still was kind of respected over here with the area of the wicks. Let me kind of reset that. With the area of the wicks right around here, this price was still kind of respected overall because previously we had a right here, and then we could see right here that we had a 50% still being respected, right? As some try to support, and as we push it up a little bit more, it's still 50% that's being respected right here as well. So boom, you could see the area of importance, and then from right there, we kind of launched up. Now it's from right here that price begins to, ooh, hold on, gotta call a buy. Let me see. Gotta call a buy. I did not see where price was at. Price is at 184. Looks like we're ready to go up this week. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, y'all guys got the pleasure of catching me in my raw form on a beautiful Sunday. All right, cool. So again, from right here, this is where the details get rather nasty within this area. We can see that again from right here. If you look at this previous higher high point, that was roughly right around here from body to wick. Again, we can see price really playing structure on this 38.2 point. If you want, I'll zoom in. We can see that it printed on 38.2. We're just going to eclipse that, and then we're going to bag it up. So you can see how price is really moving off of support and resistance a lot. And I feel like that's what's most important when it comes to GJ, because it'll help you kind of understand what price is striving to show you, which is most important because GJ gives a lot of data. And sometimes it can be a little misleading to try to use that to kind of construct the analysis because you have so much. So just remember, market structure kind of dictates a lot with this pair. You can see we have 23, and then boom. But it wasn't until we made this higher high point over here where we're using it as some sort of resistance as of even now. With my current analysis, boom, right? Now, this is a bit crazy, but I'm calling a buy off of the fact that we should be able to kind of push higher and create an uptrend. We are at an area of a resistance really at the 184 flat, but if price can strive to stay above this 184, maybe we'll continue last week's bull run this week. So if not, I feel like we're going to kind of come back down. But looking at the overall data, price kind of came back even all the way over here. Got the consolidation. Price is trying to strive to make 38.2. everything on the touch. We ended up pushing down right here, making a spec. So then really it kind of leads us into this overall bias of analysis, which I can kind of go down to the lower time frames because I know I am higher time frame wise. And at that point in time, I'll just hide the visibility on this to the daily time frame, and I'll just pick up only solely from right here. So throughout this, I'm only looking at this current data as of right here. We have a lot of wicks within this area. So the very first thing I want to show y'all guys is that we did respect 38.2 right around down here from the higher time frame to the lower time frame. You can see support on top of this 38.2 that was respected. We did actually respect a 500 QP area as the area of support. Not overall support within this area, but it was really the 750 that really took the show, honestly and truly, which gave me the confidence in this zone to kind of call the buys that I did last week, right? Because seeing where we picked off with structure, I saw 750 kind of respected, and then this area of price as well. So from price throughout my perspective on what I'm seeing as of right now is that price kind of came from down here straight up. We did what we did. We were doing what we were doing because of the data, but we came down making support and resistance. Then we came, then we broke, then we retested, and now here we are now just striving to make support. So there's little areas of support and resistance within this price point that I am looking at, especially these areas right here where, you know, resistance was turned into support. But again, I'm looking at right here, if we have enough momentum to break to the upside, we can keep the volume. But just looking at it from this 38.2 perspective on this 2-hour time frame, I could see that price came right here. We kind of came back and made an area of support and resistance right here, getting its retest and flowing on with structure on this 2-hour time frame. We could kind of see that. We have that, another eclipse to kind of help suit us in the bias. And then really and truly from here, I believe there was a lot of 23.6, but also using that support and resistance as it means to keep going up. So this is what I have overall as of right now. This is my overall projection, and price doesn't break until we come back down here. So we're in a bit of a good range. It's just up to price to see if it's going to maintain and if it's going to continue. So I'll have this analysis for y'all guys overall, so y'all guys can see where I'm coming from with the bias. But yeah, I'll go ahead and drop this in the Telegram chat so y'all guys can have it, so y'all guys can dig in. Hopefully this analysis is able to give y'all a lot of gems and a lot of support. But with that being said, y'all guys have a great week. I say let's wait though for GJ because we are pretty high up. Despite the buy that you guys just heard me call, I want to say let's wait. We could either get some good movement here, or maybe I'm wrong. Again, maybe we could kind of get some good movement as far as for here goes, and we could respect and go higher. Or, you know, we could probably even come back and do a bit of a steeper retrace. So it really just all depends on what price action wants to show us. We could probably even could come back as low as anywhere down here. So let's just wait. But as of right now, these are my two setups. These are either going to be here or here, but I'm waiting for just to wait with the details of structure. But as of right now, if buyers can just close out in the next 17 minutes like this, I think we'll be good to go for some long-time analysis. So that being said, my projections on GJ are looking like to take the long from here with a tight stop loss of 13 pips. And you know what I'm saying? The reward is the reward. Let's go down lower so we can value the data that I'm showing. And if it doesn't respect here, then I'll be looking to take another setup or another long somewhere around here with a tighter stop loss. So I have two projections overall with this area. So let's just see how it plays out. But GJ is definitely something that you guys are going to have to watch to get the sauce.